A lot of mums do think that they have to give up breastfeeding when they go to work, which is a real shame, and they don't have to because they've obviously given all the best to the baby and they can continue to breastfeed. What we suggest is that you devise a plan of care looking at how long you're going to be leaving the baby for, and that includes travel time and things like that as well. And also to inform your employer when you're going back to work and that you are intending to breastfeed, because they are legally obliged to do a risk assessment similar to the one that they did when you were pregnant, and that they are also legally obliged to provide you with an area where you can express breast milk and to store it as well. And I think this would be a good time to have a talk with your employer and just give them the benefits of breastfeeding. I mean, obviously you will be happy working for that company if they are more tolerant of breastfeeding mums, and just explain that you'll be off work much less likely to look after your baby because they're much less likely to be ill as well. There are several options for you depending on the age of the baby and what you choose to do. So, for instance, if you want to totally exclusively breastfeed your baby, you could feed the baby before you go to work. If you live near to home or the carer, then you could go home in your breaks and feed the baby, or ask the carer to bring the baby into work if that's possible, and then obviously continue to breastfeed when you get home. The other alternative is to feed the baby before you leave work and then express breast milk whilst you're at home and just store it in the fridge or a cool bag protected with ice packs, and then feed the baby again when you go home. That just takes a little bit more planning a few weeks before because you will need to have a supply of express breast milk just in case. Other women choose to mix feed, which is possible. You again feed the baby in the morning and the night and formula feed during the day. What you probably will find is that when you go home at night, your baby will feed lots, but it's a really lovely way of bonding and reconnecting with your baby after a hard day of work. The other alternative, if the baby is older, probably older than a year, and you still want to continue breastfeeding, by this time the baby's on solid, so perhaps only giving them water during the day is sufficient if you feed them before you go to work and again when you come home. And they will get sufficient milk that way. They'll probably just have a really long feed, but it'll be a lovely experience for you both.